Hi, this is Mr. Lima again, and I'm here to explain to you guys this time how to do a virtual practice that's expected out of math students in the afternoons between 1 o'clock and 1:45 on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And so you can find instructions for that in the classroom if you go to the classwork view, and the last thing on the class materials is going to be about that. Call it virtual practice. So if you click on that, you will open this window where you can actually see all the little lists of practices you can do. And on the first page, it has instructions. It says, for example, that if you have not added yourself to my Khan Academy list as one of my students, you must follow the instructions on this link to do that. If you have any problems, just email me. I'll let you know what to do. In fact, you have to use my email to do that, which is the one listed on the right side. In Khan Academy, I'll explain how that works in a second. The other option you can do for practice is Mobymax. And to log into Mobymax, you're going to use your username is basically going to be the beginning of your email right before the @ So if you come look at my emails, this whole thing, I will just use JLima, right? And for most students, that is the first letter of their name, the second letter, or the first letter of their initial, middle initial, and then the last name. And then the password is going to be your student ID number, which in Woodland Park starts with 300 or something like that. So there are other options also that you can do, or paper-based practices and other practices that you can find through Math Links, which are also okay, but you have to get those approved by me first. Send me an email or come see me during my office hours if that is the case. I do like to point out that during class practice time, I'm also going to be available for you to actually get help in my office hours. And you can find that by going back to the classroom. If you go here, the second link on the top is actually information about my office hours, okay? So if you are trying to do practice, you scroll down to the second page, it tells you the types of practice that you can do. The current practice is always going to be on the top in bolded. So if you're doing Khan Academy, that's expressions, equations, and inequalities unit. And if you're doing Mobymax, you're trying to find the assignments called evaluating expressions and solving equations for 7th grade. But if these are too hard for you, I also listed some other assignments, both in Mobymax and in Khan Academy, which could be helpful if you're having a lot of difficulty trying to solve those problems in the practices, okay? You can also come to get help from me in the office hours, like I said. But either way, these are for students that are struggling with the ones you were actually supposed to do. So going now to Khan Academy, when you click on that link that I just showed you, the unit kind of looks like this. You have on the left side, you have videos that can help you learn. On the right side, you have practice. You can go ahead and skip all the practice and try to find the first quiz. Take that quiz. If while you're taking the quiz, you fail it, that means you're not ready. That means you need the practices in the learning, which is above. Go back to the start and start the first practice. As you're trying to do the practice, if you get it right, great. Move on to the next practice. If you don't get it right, here's what you can do. So I'm going to do an example right here. So I'm trying to do this practice, and I'm just going to type a random answer that's probably going to be wrong, and I check it. Once I get that wrong, I have a chance to try it again, skip it for now, or more importantly, hit get help, right? If you do that, it will actually explain to you how to do it. And it will also include a video with a response on what you can do to actually learn how to do this material if you don't know how, all right? Another thing that you can do, even I use the next question as an example, is if, once again, if you get it wrong, you can actually use a hint, all right? So if you can watch the video or get a hint, and that way they will just show you the one hint, not the entire answer. If that still doesn't help, you can get another hint. If it still doesn't help, you can get another hint, which is pretty much the answer. And if you click on get help, this is the same kind of thing you would get, right? But the cool thing about getting hints is that it's sequential and it doesn't kind of reveal too much. Now, if you get it right with hints or with watching the videos or by trying again, they don't give you credit for the question. And if you fail enough questions, you're not going to pass the practice. So if that's what happens to you, just try to practice again. But if in a second time you can't pass it, you definitely need to watch that video. After you repeat this process for all the practices, you can try that quiz again and see if you pass it. And then start the next session. Same thing again. Skip to the quiz. See if you can get it right. If you can, you can skip the practices of the section. But if you can't pass the quiz, go back to the start, do the practices. While you're doing the practices, use the hints or use the get help button or anything like that, right? So, or watch the videos. Keep the process going until you get to the end where you have the actual unit test. So the second thing you can do for practice, once again, is Mobymax. And if you click on this link that's at the very top of the table, you can actually access this login page right here. And if you're on this login page, all you have to do is use your first name's initial, and then your middle name's initial, and then your last name. That's usually how it's going to be for your screen name. And for the password, you're going to put your student ID number, whatever that is, in there. I think I did this for my sample student. Let's see if that works. Oops, I did not. So it's one more zero, perhaps. Once you log in as a student, on the top right, top left here, there's going to be an opportunity for you to do math assignments. And in here, there will be listed all the assignments that you're supposed to do. If it looks like this, make sure you send me an email because you're missing all the assignments you're supposed to have. So after you email me, you can refresh the page and try to log in again. So first letter, middle initial, last name, and then that password is going to be your student ID number. After you do that, and you try to log in again, it's going to have the assignments there for you. Now, if you notice that multiple assignments have been assigned to you, you might have to scroll down to find the right ones, which remember was solving equations and evaluating expressions. And you're also going to see those additional assignments that are there for the people who are struggling to get the right thing actually done. So when you click on it, it basically will have videos, it will have little tutorials, games, and as you start working through it, it will kind of explain
isolate the variable to solve
how it works.
this equation.
So that's Mobymax, and it's another option that you can do for practice. And that is what you're supposed to be doing every afternoon. If you have any questions or concerns, remember to email me or come see me during my office hours. And in the afternoon, I'm also available for that. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next video.